Volume. Got it now. There you go. Got it now.
Can't complain, baby. It's national championship,
Good.
January 20th. Let's lock in.
We feeling real good, feeling real nice. Listen, we're gonna cover a few things today. Cover a few things with some Gamecock news. We got some transfer portal news. I overheard Shane Beamer on a talk show this morning. Shout out Inside Gamecock. Got the college football playoff national championship tonight between Notre Dame and Ohio State. Listen, I don't know why, Mac. We talked about it earlier. It's not really that hype of a natty. We're gonna get into it though. Number 7 versus number 8. Not a lot of people thought they were gonna get here. Again, we're gonna get into it and a few other things. But listen, lock in. Tell your people. Tell some friends. 2001 show starts now. Yo, we in there. So listen, man. Listen. Truthfully,
So,
how we feeling, man? How we feeling? How we feeling? How we feeling?
glad to be back.
Yeah, man. Listen, to everyone watching, everyone that will watch, we've had some unexpected things rise up. I had a little medical thing I had to take care of, which we had to postpone the show for. Just life happens. We had some things that popped up. It just is what it is, you know. Things happen, and we just have to take care of it. So, but here we are, locked in, ready to go. Let's jump into some Gamecock news. First and foremost, transfer portal. Since our last episode, we have grabbed 3 players out of the portal. Um, I am probably gonna botch his name. I am not gonna lie. I spent like 10, 15 minutes. Jacob can attest. He was in the Discord call with me when we were talking about it. But on January 10th, we grabbed Justin Okoronkwo, the linebacker from Alabama.
Not bad. There you go. That's
I
not
didn't
bad.
do too bad. I didn't do too
That's not
bad.
bad. That's
Not
pretty
too
good.
bad. Not too bad. Listen, true freshman, but he had 14 tackles on the year, 6'3", 228. Not bad. Tape looks pretty decent. Kid's quick, like real quick, headhunter. Um, but I was talking to Braxton the other day. He said between him and Sean Murphy, one of those two, the way their film looks, he said that he feels like they might feel that Demetrius Knight role, the way that they play and the way they headhunt to the ball, the way they fill the gap. But yeah, then we picked up on January 11th, the next day, Devontae Miles, a defensive lineman, 6'5", 280 out of Bowling Green.
Size.
Yeah, gigantic, bro. Massive human. He's a sophomore. He's got 26 career total tackles. And then the big one that we were all like we were all on Twitter like, "Come home, my boy." Even Nick, Big Nicky Manworry, was out there doing some recruiting for us. We got Brandon Cisse on January 13th,
That
defensive
was a
back,
good one.
6 foot, 182 from NC State. He is also a sophomore. He's got 38 career total tackles, 5 pass deflections, and an interception. Huge pickups from Beamer and Co. Torian Gray is going to have a field day with Brendan Cisse and David Boosie and Peyton Williams and Vakari Swain.
Secondary is starting to look a lot nicer. It was
Yeah,
gonna be one of
bro.
my biggest concerns, and they're definitely attacking it, and it's good.
Well, and
I
it's
believe
not
this
even
is the
that.
second cornerback or DB they've gotten from the portal. Is this number 2?
Um,
This is number 2, I believe. I'm gonna go on click on
yeah,
RP
correct me if I'm
quick.
wrong, but I believe that is number 2. But what I will say is, after hearing Beamer talk on the Inside the Gamecock show this morning, he was saying how their number one focus in the portal this offseason was 100% the interior offensive line because of what we lost. But secondly, they knew that replacements on defense were going to be few and far between, so they had to go and grab what we needed and attack it heavily. Um, and getting
Yeah, it
someone
was
like Brandon
Miles.
Cisse, hmm,
It was Miles Norwood. We
that's right,
got
yeah, yeah,
Miles
yeah, yeah,
Norwood before Brandon. Yeah,
Ball
Ball
State,
State,
right?
yeah, Ball State.
yeah.
So Miles Norwood, Brendan Cisse both come in. Torian Gray is about to have a field day, and now we again get to see what this defensive unit will look like under a year of development. I mean, we got 250 some days until that Virginia Tech game on August 31st. My birthday, by the way, might be there, might not. Sounds like a good
Yeah,
birthday to me.
you gotta go.
Um, but I mean, truthfully, after hearing Beamer talk this morning, he was like, it is now time for these kids to step up. He was like, we seen Vakari Swain, and shout out Vakari, man. He had a heck of a season. The kid looked great.
Had a great year.
Um, yeah, looked really good. Another one, Jalewis Solomon. He looked really good as a true freshman. I mean, we are gonna have some kids that are gonna have to step up. I mean, and that's just
Judge,
the
right?
truth of it,
This
huh?
is this guy's
Of Judge, right?
Yeah,
Judge
Judge
Collier, yeah.
Collier. Yeah, I
He'll
mean,
be a
This is gonna need to be DQ Smith. This gonna have to be his NFL year. Like, everyone's been dogging him for the last 2 years.
he's got to.
Dogging
Yeah,
him.
he's got to take that next step
But
for sure.
either in the leadership aspect, whatever the case may be, this is his year, like, people been cutting up on him a little bit, but this is his year. Some context also, by the way, on the first transfer portal guy, we talked about Justin, the true freshman from Alabama. He is the number 1 player from Germany, apparently. Don't know how many people come
Mm.
from Germany, but I thought that was important to say for anyone that doesn't know. Something cool. I feel like that's gonna be more of a developmental piece with him being a true freshman. Given I could be wrong, he might be a freak.
Well, I mean, the truth is our entire defense is going to be developed this year. I mean, you
he
got
swapped out developing the offense for developing the defense.
yeah. Well, and
My
that's
my question really for Beamer and Co. is this: are we finally getting to the point where we're reloading, or are we still rebuilding? Because for a long time it's been Beamer's been building, he's been building. So now are we getting in that reloading phase where we should expect to be a top 15 team coming into next year? Or is this still rebuilding, still working to make sure we're within that top 25 range?
We got to be in.
We'll see.
It's got to be reloading time, in my opinion.
yeah. Well, and see,
I
that's also
totally
what I
agree.
think. I think that we think it's now or never. I think we are in that what's the word I'm looking for? I think we're in that front view of everyone the way we came out and played this year, knowing that last year's 5-7 season we're a couple plays away from being 8-4, possibly even 9-3, to this year being 9-3, then 9-4 losing to Illinois.
Yep.
Um, knowing that we're a couple pieces away offensively and reloading on defense to potentially, and obviously this year being on the cusp of being in a college football playoff. And we saw how those games went. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt we're not going to be. No one's going to be looking past us. That's for sure.
no,
And
not with Lenore Sellers being at our quarterback position. There's no shot. I mean, the
yeah,
kid is going to continue to develop. He is going to continue to get better, and that's something that Shane was mentioning on the show this morning. Is you got to think about it. In the very first game of the season, ODU, he didn't play but 2 quarters of football. In the second game of the season, he played right at 3 quarters of football. The third game of the season was Kentucky. It was his first road SEC game, and he played 2-ish quarters, 3-ish quarters of football due to injury. And then again, you go at Akron, he doesn't play at all in that entire game. And then LSU he also only played a half. I mean, he never played a full game until Ole Miss. That was the first full game of Lenoris's entire career, like full game. Every other game he was banged up, beat up.
yeah. When I was at the Kentucky game, I know he got pulled. He only got pulled for like 2 plays against Kentucky, but that's, I believe, where it really started, or at least it progressed, where
Mm-hmm.
he wasn't healthy. You could tell he wasn't fully 100% after the first game he played ODU, and in that Kentucky game, he had to get pulled for half a drive, where that's the first time we got to see Robbie Ashford play.
Yeah,
But I'm excited to see what a fully healthy and developed Sellers looks
right.
like, and I'm glad. I think the biggest transfer portal pickup still has been Air Nolan. Like the fact Beamer is
For
keeping his
sure.
eyes forward past Sellers, that's huge. Because that's what reloading looks like when you're taking that QB2 where he could be your QB1 realistically. So
Well, I mean, and
it's good
if you
stuff.
even think about it, I mean, me and Max even had this conversation. Like, if you think about having someone like a Aaron Nolan in that LSU game, no disrespect to Robbie. I mean, he gave us a chance to win it.
Yeah, I don't.
But
Yeah,
if you have a Aaron Nolan type quarterback in that game that can sling the rock and also run it, I think Aaron Nolan's a step up from Robbie. No knock to Robbie. Robbie's a great quarterback. Yeah, I think he's going to
see
do his thing this
that
upcoming year.
LSU game gets weird because I don't think it was Robbie's fault we lost. A lot of people
I
make
don't.
that
I'm just
comment
saying.
where if Sellers would have stayed in, we would have won. Am on the opposite end where I think if Sellers would have stayed in, we would have been just as hurt because Sellers was still playing very young, very immature at the time. And this is gonna be this might be controversial. I don't know. I think the defense is what cost us that game. If you're not going to count the ref situation, obviously, I
Hmm,
think officiating is what really did it.
I think
But
coaching
outside
cost
of
us that game.
officiating, you could either say the defense because
Pulled.
defense
Let's
was
say
missing a
coaching
lot
over.
of tackles. A lot of tackles were missed. A very I have a distinct memory of OD missing tackles and Debo
Oh yeah.
missing tackles during that game. Like that was a not a perfect defensive performance. We were down 17 or we were up 17-0 on LSU.
Hmm.
Now, given the play calling when Robbie went in, they changed completely. They changed their whole scheme when Robbie went in. And I don't
Right.
think they should have done that. I think they should have trusted Robbie, throw the ball.
Exactly.
But given Robbie still got us to field goal range. He did
Well,
what he was supposed to
right.
do, and he should have tied it if we had a
Just
kicker
went
that could make that kick
conservative
under
coaching in the
pressure.
second half, which kind of killed us. Robbie couldn't throw the
That
ball.
third
They just
quarter
didn't
was
trust him
gross.
to throw it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I agree with that. I'm more referring to that fourth quarter, that late
Right.
push by Robbie. Robbie gave us a chance to win it. So
Yeah,
I
for
don't
sure.
I refuse to accept that narrative that Robbie, if Lenoris was still in the LSU game, we would have won it. No, I think we probably would have still lost because Sellers was still growing. He was still very immature during LSU. But that's old. That's old news.
Yeah. Either way, just listening to Beamer talk during that show earlier today, it just, it made me realize that there are the things that fans are concerned about and we talk about fairly often, they are also talking about. Um,
Of
but
course.
either way, Yeah, and then obviously through the rest of the season, I mean, we just saw the natural growth of a quarterback playing in SEC games, whether they were at home or away. I mean, we saw what they done against A&M. I mean, obviously the defense we had was historic in Carolina standards. But just overall, just to see that growth. Uh, but speaking of that growth, I mean, now that we've seen what we've already grabbed from the portal to help defensively and offensively. I mean, we've grabbed a running back and a bunch of offensive linemen and a tight end in Jordan Dingle. What else do we think we grabbed from the portal, or do you think we're done?
I think the go ahead, Mac.
I was gonna say I think the fall window is done, or not fall, but current window, whatever you want to call it, is done for now. Kind of got what we desperately needed, and I think we see what we have in training, spring training over the summer, spring game. We'll see what we got. Then look towards next season. I don't think there's a ton that we really need. Like, of course, another like a big wide receiver would be helpful, but have something about that later. But
Yeah, I think
Mm.
that's the common consensus that the wide receiver spot. You either some people, I think the majority of people are saying we need a full wide receiver one, and then some other people just say we need wide receiver for depth. But that goes into some other transfer portal news that we haven't hit yet. Trey Wallace decided Ole Miss over South Carolina, and I believe what was it, Florida?
No, it
No, it
was
was A&M.
Louisville and A&M.
Yeah, he chose Ole Miss. Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin continue to just
they have
grab
enough wide
anything and
receivers
everything.
already.
But I say,
Yeah,
like at this point, bro, like do
These
any of
guys
these
realize they're
people?
not all gonna be playing.
Yeah, bro. Like at some point, are
I'm
they
not.
not gonna realize, like, brother, we may not get any playing time. I mean, at some point, you got to realize that. But
I mean, it's gonna set Ole Miss up to be really good next year, but I think it's coaching. Like, certain point, coaching is gonna be the issue because they did this last year. So I expect Ole Miss to choke, and they have a new QB. Who's their QB? I need to do some research in Ole Miss, or at least their next set of guys coming in.
Is
I don't
Dart
know.
declared for the draft yet?
Thought he did.
who
I didn't think
Jackson?
Dart was coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think Jackson's coming back.
No, I think he's out of eligibility.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's gone. So who's taking over at Ole Miss?
I haven't heard. No idea. I mean, I can look up real fast.
Nonetheless, Trey Wallace decides Ole Miss, and everyone wanted him the most just because they saw him as a wide receiver one coming out of Penn State, with especially everything that Penn State did this year. My personal take on the situation is I don't really care. I think if we need a wide receiver, it'd be more for depth. I don't think we need a quote unquote wide receiver one. I mean, yes, would it be nice? It's always, it's free candy. But I trust the guys in the room, and I think we have some really talented athletes in the room. If Nick Harbor steps up this year, he's going to be a freak. Jared Brown, this is his big senior year. I think he could take a step up with another year to develop with Lenoris. And then you got Mazio Bennett, who could easily be a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. And then you have a multitude of very talented freshmen coming in. And we got shown last year, freshman wide receiver can make noise. For example, Ryan Williams at Alabama. So I am not as worried about the wide receiver position. I'm more worried, I think, about the tight end position than I am wide receiver, just based off of Lenoris's play style. But we'll see.
Yeah. So
What's y'all's take?
so looking here, it looks like redshirt sophomore Austin Simmons
Yeah. Could be the
is their
quarterback.
backup quarterback. He also quit baseball to play football for the Rebels. On the year, he was 19 of 32 for 282 yards passing. And I mean, I'm assuming that he is intending to be their backup or now starting QB with Jackson Dart's graduation. So I would just assume that that's who's going to be taking over their quarterback duties, unless they go out and grab a QB in the portal. But I don't know who else is left. So, but yeah.
Normally I pray for the downfall of Clemson players, but now I guess I got another name on the list.
Yeah.
That's awful. Terrible.
Yeah. So moving on from the portal, Big Lenoris, man, National Offensive Freshman of the Year. He beat out Jeremiah Smith. Whoa.
That was cool. That surprised me.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah. Surprised a lot of people, but I mean, bang.
I'm getting lost in these award shows though. Like, how many awards are there? Is this like the
Feels
one
like
that's
50.
nationally recognized? Like, is this the national like offensive freshman of the year, or is there
Yes.
like 2 or 3 different kinds? I don't know. There's a lot of stinking awards, so getting kind of lost in the sauce here.
But
But
Lenoris,
nonetheless, that's sick though.
yeah,
Beat
the
out DJ
National
too.
Offensive Freshman of the Year. So shout out Lenoris Sellers. One last thing in Gamecock news, we had a athletics personnel contract on last Friday that got leaked out into the Twitterverse, and Dawn Staley has been signed through 2030, making her the highest paid woman coach across all sports. So congrats, Coach Dawn Staley, on your successful career, and continued.
Put my tuition money to good use.
She is now the highest paid coach underneath Coach Shane Beamer, the football team. And if she repeats last year, she will gigantically crush all of her goals that she had in her contract and make a buku amount of money. So congratulations to Coach Staley and the girls for crushing Oklahoma the other day by like 40.
Is this the new AD's first like power move?
That's his first contract. That's the first one.
He said, "You're the only one winning right now. Here's that bag."
No, yeah, I mean, he was just like,
you ain't going
nowhere. Yeah, he started throwing the bread. Yeah, so yeah, congrats to Coach Staley. Listen, as far as basketball goes, man, I mean, I know we haven't talked much Gamecock basketball, but I mean, the girls are insane. Whoa, breaking news come across ESPN. The Bears have finalized a deal to hire Ben Johnson as their next head coach. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Crazy.
Whoa.
I don't hate it.
Big news.
Hey, I was worried the Raiders were going to get him, so that's fine with me.
Listen, to the Bears, listen. Caleb Williams the other day on the podcast, I think when Amon-Ra St. Brown on his podcast, he was like, if it's not Ben Johnson, I might be going. It's like, wait a minute.
That's wild.
But I mean,
I like that though. That's a good move.
Yeah.
Staying in divisions is crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. But yeah, as far as other Gamecock news and with basketball and stuff, the girls are just that loss to UCLA. It was basically the same thing that happened with basically the same thing that happened with Ohio State losing to Michigan. Just it flipped the switch. Something happened.
Sometimes you just need it. Sometimes you need that loss early in the year.
I mean, you got to think about it. You had a bunch of freshmen that won a natty last year and then turned around and they haven't lost a single game.
Lost a game in college.
Yeah.
And they walk on the court every single day like our junk don't stink, and they lost. And that next practice was probably like, yeah, you can stink. Hit the line.
Hey, okay.
Hey, if Notre Dame can lose to NIU and still make a natty,
so can South Carolina.
I'm not worried about South Carolina.
Current number 1 team, so I'm not too worried about it.
Right. And then the boys, man, I don't listen with the
talk about that.
The boys. See, listen, this is the thing.
That's what I'm worried about.
I truthfully in year 2 we overperformed for Lamont. Sure.
It's like we did with Shane.
Sure. Year 3 NIL is just my lord. Like, it is hard in this conference to field a phenomenal team with not a lot of NIL money. And that's just the truth. But people calling for Lamont's head immediately, I personally don't think it's fair. I don't think you can say, hey, in 3 years, turn this program into a national championship team. I just don't think it's fair. I think you have to give coaches time. I mean, Doan didn't do it in 2 or 3 years. Shane's not going to do it in 2 or 3 years. Any of these coaches around the nation aren't going to do it in 2 or 3 years unless you are
Yep.
given, unless you go to a university that has, you know, Ohio
Marcus
State type
Freeman,
bag, or
Marcus Freeman.
yeah, or Marcus Freeman or LSU type bag or Ole Miss type bag, where you can just say, hey, I have money, come play for me. Then it's going to take some time to grow and build a team. Now, next year's class for the men's basketball team, if we build around what we have coming in, plus get some good portal additions via NIL, I think we may be okay.
I
But I
think
just
most
think
people's point of view on it is they just want to see them be competitive. You know,
I don't
within year
disagree.
3 of Lamont, they want to see competitive football, or not football, basketball. And I think you're getting that. I mean, that Vandy game we dropped by, what was it, 3 points, something like that. Same thing with Auburn, lost at the very
We
end.
lost to the
Hey,
number one team in the country.
if you win one of those
Free throw,
games,
though.
it flips the
And
entire narrative. You know what I
One
mean?
our
that,
problems last year, though, it's always been free throws with Lamont as coach. And I'm not calling for his job. I'm just saying that's just a problem we've consistently had
yeah,
for 3 years now. Last year we shot, gosh, it was terrible. There was one game where we went like for like 30 on free throws. And like, I mean, there's games that I've been to in person that we've lost. Had we hit half of the free throws we missed, we would have won.
Yeah, it's awful.
so
They just start off slow. They start off very slow, and then they get
We're a
stuck in the mud.
defensive team too, so if we can keep
Yeah.
games slow and low scoring, we're usually good. But
Well, the issue is
hit the
we're
free
slow,
throws.
they're not. That's what I'm referring to.
You hit
Uh,
your free throws against Auburn in the game. You hit your free throws against Vandy in the game. There's so many games you go back and say, had we only hit more free throws of 8 or 9 missed ones. The
yeah,
fact that, let me just rant real quick about Nick Pringle saying it felt like it was an away game. It's
that's
terrible.
disappointing.
It's
yeah,
terrible.
that was sad. That was sad. Now I did see that. Shout out Cox by 90 on X. He was saying a lot of times the only time he ever hears from the university is when they're begging for money, and that they've raised the prices for parking lots and this, that, and the third. Like it was $10 to park, and now it's like 20, 25, and they keep crying for fans to be there, but they keep shooting fans in the foot essentially. Um, but yet they still have people come and support. Granted, it wasn't a packed out house, but Auburn fans travel, and you wonder why. They travel because their team's number one overall and they're winning ball games. But you know what happened last year? Lamont and the boys were doing great, and the fans were there, and the fans traveled. I'm just
That was
saying,
kind of referencing my point earlier. Fans want to see at least something competitive.
right?
You know what I mean?
Well,
Like
and
we
that's
don't.
something that we've been seeing on X left and right is like, why don't we see that uh that dog mentality of effort every single possession? Like why is it when you make now granted a lot of people hasn't haven't played sports, or even if they have, they didn't have this mentality, but when you make a mistake, or when you make a bad play, make a bad throw, miss a shot, miss free throws, you have to force that junk out of the back of your mind and be like, yo, the next play, none of that matters. You have to go make a play on the next play. Same thing with football, same thing with baseball. You have to make a play on the next one. You miss a ground ball, all right, make it up on the next play. You miss a 3-pointer, sure. Shoot the next one, make the next one. I mean, you just have to shove that junk in and make the next play. And I just feel like right now, our mental, as soon as it gets shot, it's over. Like unless somebody hits some kind of bang bang like alley dunk by CMB or some crazy block that goes 7 rows into the stands, it feels like our mental's just shot like immediately, which sucks. That sucks for the boys. It sucks for Lamont. It sucks for the fans. Um, but either way, I mean, my lord at the gauntlet that they've had to play. That gauntlet's been insane. It is an insane schedule. But either way, I mean, still, I hate to see them lose the way they're losing. I don't like watching them lose. It's been a hard watch. I'm still watching. I mean, I want them to win. Um, but either way, I just hate to see people calling for Lamont's head as if he's the one out there trying to shoot and score a bucket. Like it's not his fault that he's not the one driving to the rim, kicking it out, and missing a wide open three. Like it's not his fault he's not hitting free throws. I mean, he can tell the boys to stand at the line, and until you make 90 out of 100, everybody's gonna run, and then we go into the crib when everybody makes 90 out of 100. Like he can't be the one to shoot them. So I
I
mean,
think Lamont earned his stripes last year with how the team performed.
Sure.
Now, given I can understand people starting to get, hey, yo, what are we doing here? You know what I mean?
they're getting
And
antsy.
if exactly,
They
I
did the
think
same thing with Beamer.
if we are last within the SEC by the end of the year, I think coming into next year, there probably does deserve a little bit of hot seat talk coming into next year. Now,
Sure.
given this year, it's like, hey, yo, y'all got to let the team perform. Y'all got to be there to
Right.
support them
Right.
as long as they're giving you a reason to.
No,
But
I agree.
it's been pretty rough so far, and I don't
Sure.
know if I blame fans because this has been an ongoing issue for a long time now. This
For
ain't
sure.
new just because it's Lamont. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't blame fans if they don't want to support when they're not showing effort on the court. Now, vice versa, if they're giving it their all, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, and
Show up.
and someone
I could
said something
say,
on X like, if Willie B will never not be sold out more than likely, no matter if we're 2-10 or if we're 10-2. There's going to be fans at a football game. Why is it not the same for other sports?
I
well,
don't know,
you say
man.
that,
During
but
the
you
Muschamp era,
also
it got pretty empty in that mug.
you can
Muschamp,
you watch
woo.
people leave during the games. I mean, it might be sold out to start, but if the student section is gone during most of the games, whether we're winning by if we're up more than 10 or down more than 10, they clear out at halftime, and that's a pet peeve of mine. But
Oh,
I
I
was
know.
gonna say they did the same thing with Shane though last year. Year 3 was last year. We had overperformed year 2, which is exactly what Lamont did. Coming into this season, Shane was on the hot seat in some people's eyes. Um, I think you just got to give Lamont time. I definitely don't see calls for him to be gone now. But like you're saying, I don't think it's a fan problem because I went to this is like over Christmas break. I went to a men's game on a Tuesday, a women's game on a Wednesday. It was completely different. It was like I was in a different atmosphere. Men's game was like, I mean, the whole upper bowl was empty. It was, I mean, scattered around like the lower bowl, and the women's game was packed out. It was loud the whole time. Fans were in it. I don't think it's a fan problem. I think it's just what we're seeing on the court. It's just isn't pulling the fans in for men like it is the women.
Yeah, I think that's all it is.
Sure.
I
I
mean,
don't disagree.
winning cures all.
Oh, of
You know
course.
what
I
I
mean,
mean?
that's everywhere. So,
Because I mean, I remember a lot of times when I mean, even last year with Beamer's teams when they're going 5-7, when we're on that like 2 game, 3 game, whatever it was, losing streak, that student section would get cleared out by like
oh yeah.
third quarter, and you're
Well, I
like
mean,
sitting
and
there like,
then
what are we
It
doing?
gets cleared out when
I hate it.
we're on our darn 6 game winning streak. I went to every home game this year except for Missouri, and the stands cleared out in every game by second, third quarter, or halftime, third quarter, except for the LSU game. I heard the Missouri game wasn't bad, but I mean, it's really the students, not the fans, but students don't like to stay, and
Yeah, you're referring to the cockpit.
yeah,
Yeah. Now
that's
I've heard
frustrating.
different issues on Twitter because obviously I don't live there, so I don't really know how the student section goes. I heard it was like a travel issue, like the buses or something.
No,
It's like
that's
far
not
from
true.
campus or something like
It's
that.
far from campus, but they run buses 2 hours after the game. That's not the issue. It's
you heard
people
it from a student himself. It's not an
have
issue.
Is
other
it a
things. They have
Do do do
other
do.
priorities. They have other priorities. Let me put it that way.
oh, okay?
It's a pet
That's
peeve
If
of
what's
you
up.
mine.
if you picking up what he putting down, you feel me?
if you're gonna request the ticket,
5
stay for the
points.
whole game. If
Yeah.
you're gonna request the ticket,
It's called 5
stay for the
points.
whole game. If we're down 30, or if we're up 30, and it's like the late in the fourth, okay, go home. Yeah, like okay, whatever. If you don't
But
want
at
to support the
halftime with like a 3-point game, you
halftime,
better
and it's
sit your butt in your seat.
a SEC, like we're
Yeah.
playing an SEC
Almost
opponent and
any
we're up
SEC
7,
game.
and you're leaving. I mean, I've been a student 2 years now. I've seen what 12, 13 games at Williams-Brice as a student. Terrible. That's an issue that the university needs to solve somehow. I don't know if I mean we're the only SEC school that doesn't charge students for tickets for football games. I get my tickets
Really?
completely free. Yeah, we're the only
Can you hook
SEC
me up
school.
for a Clemson ticket, bro?
Oh no, those are the only
Yeah.
ones. No, they don't even charge
No,
you
I
for
don't blame you.
those. It's like a point
Really?
system. So if you go to other games, you go to basketball, volleyball games, you earn points. The more points you have, the better seats you have for the football games. So all of our events are completely free, unless of course it's like an away game, and every once in a while they'll like sponsor people to go to a away game, but you got to pay for those. But games are completely free. I don't want us to be charged for them, but there's got to be something where there's like a penalty if you don't stay for majority of the game. Leaving at halftime is just
Is
it's
it
ridiculous.
are we the only SEC team that doesn't charge students?
Yeah.
The only SEC team left that does not charge students for football tickets, and somehow we
Charge
still
them.
have a
If we're
problem.
the only one, that's a problem. Charge
Charge
them. It's
'em.
working for everybody else.
Yeah,
'Cause
I don't see. I mean,
that's embarrassing. I mean, I'm gonna be
it
honest.
is. Yeah, as a student, it's embarrassing that. I mean, this is where I grew up. This is my team. This is my home team, and then you see people who are they just don't care.
Like, I'm not even saying that would be like expensive or anything. But
No, it's like
25
15
bucks,
bucks, $15,
yeah,
$20.
like
I don't
that's
know.
reasonable as far as I'm concerned.
I
Sure.
But
don't
I
know.
I
mean,
work for a living.
we can definitely go on and on about the things that we can
I can
fix.
rant all day on
Oh,
it.
I know you can because we've had those conversations.
Yeah.
Tickets in general are too expensive, which kills me because I spend 200, 300 bucks to go to a game because I always gotta bring the old lady with me. Too expensive. I don't understand how people be leaving early. Like, what are you doing? Where you gotta go?
Now
Where
I'm
you gotta
saying
go?
you gonna spend the money on a ticket, bro. I'm
It ain't
getting my
even.
money's worth. That's for sure.
Yeah, I
Um.
don't. It's not even just the students. Sometimes it's the regular fans too.
Oh
General
yeah. True.
Oh
admission.
True.
yeah.
True.
I'm like, what are y'all doing, bro? Unless
Majority
you're in
of
the
it.
upper bowl, because if you're in the upper bowl, you can't even see the field anyways. I don't blame you. But anyone else, oh,
Yeah. So getting
anyways,
into some other college football news, we got Carson Beck to Miami. Who would have thought?
Money and women
yeah,
or woman.
That man
clearly he
chasing
didn't
after
really
his woman.
chasing that bag. He got paid
Yeah.
an outrageous amount of money. What was it, like 20? No, 12 million, 14,
It was a lot of
over
money,
10,
more
It
than he
was a
would have made
lot of
on a rookie
million. It
contract.
was. Yeah,
more than the NFL. Yeah, it was more than the NFL. Like,
Rookie contract, yeah.
it was. It
recruitment.
was 10 plus. I'm pretty sure it was 10 plus. So I mean,
I think it was like 12.
yeah, that's
I'm gonna,
outrageous, bro.
I'm gonna keep it a book. I
For
think
mid
Carson Beck in the
quarterback.
back of his head, he knows he ain't playing NFL ball.
No, he getting the money while he can. I agree.
Yeah, I think that's got to be it. Because even Stetson Bennett, that dude won 2 natties and still didn't play in the NFL. So
Like I don't know what bro just went to Miami. Like he went to the portal, no contact, and like as soon as that no contact came out, everybody was like, "Yep, buddy he going to the beaches." I was like, "That is crazy, like, bro." And then it came out that he's getting a 10 plus mil contract, and I was like, Huh? For a year?
For a
hey,
year
Like
of 8-4 football. Go ahead and mark it down. 8 and
Miami's
4.
that
8-4.
whole
Early season
program.
prediction.
Miami
I don't even
only
know their
is a
schedule.
program because they're in Miami. If they weren't in Miami, they'd be so dog water. I remember there were, what was it, 8-0, 9-0, competing for the ACC, competing for the playoff. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pull up their game. I'm gonna watch.
Oh,
See,
Jacob.
I pull it up.
Oh,
They're in Hard
Jacob.
Rock Stadium in downtown Miami, and I'm like, okay, cool. They're in the NFL stadium. That's fun. That mug was empty.
Yeah.
No one cares about Miami. I don't know why we give them so much love, so much praise on the national scene.
Nobody's at their games.
And like the camera angles on TV make it look like it is full, but that top
was
bowl
not.
don't never had nobody in a seat ever.
Even the lower bowl was like, no. Miami is not a big program. They are only get national coverage because they are in Miami and they won a little bit of football in the 80s or 90s, whatever it was. Before I was born.
Oh,
Dang.
oh. Anyways, yeah. So let's jump in. So score predictions from last week. My boy said he went 0-2. My boy,
Yeah, it was a bad day.
that boy had that old goosey. I went 2-0. Thank you. Mac, you went 1-1. Braxton went 2-0, and Jacob went 1-0. How'd you go 1-0, Jacob? What did you not choose? What did you do? Did you not choose a team? Anyways, so for the season that we started shooting for the rest of the season, Seth, you are now at 14-14.
I gotta pick the right game today.
500.
Yeah,
To stay above 500.
yeah, you got to lock in. Mac, me and you are tied at 19-9, my boy. We are tied.
Good stuff, boys.
Um,
Good stuff. Good picks.
Yeah, Braxton is 5-1 since he started joining in. I want to put this shout out there. I know Jonathan may or may not be watching, because of his busy work day, but Jonathan is 6-0 and 2-0 on picks last week. He also, shout out Jonathan, basically went undefeated in his fantasy league and won the championship. So this dude knows some football.
We might have to get Jonathan in here.
Well, I told him I
Special
wanted him
guest
to
appearance?
do what now?
This is a little special guest appearance.
Yeah, I was gonna try to get
Yes,
him
he
on.
was.
If we were gonna run it last night, I was gonna try to get him on, but he had his job and stuff. He had to do a long run and stuff today, so he may or may not show up tonight. But either way, yeah, I told him we were going to have to get him on, especially when we start running some Braves content because we are massive Braves fans. So yeah, but he listen 6-0 in college football picks. For as far as NFL goes, listen, none of us did good except for Jacob and Jonathan. We did not look good.
Especially the
Seth,
heart
I actually don't
play.
have your picks down for the NFL.
It was. I think I went 3-3.
Okay, so you went 3-3, not too shabby. You're even. It's pretty good. Mac and myself, we both went 2-4. So yeah,
This was in the divisional week, right? This wasn't considering yesterday and Saturday's games. I don't think.
This was.
yeah. No, we didn't choose the games yesterday. This was all for the last whatnot. Braxton didn't choose anything, and then Jacob and Jonathan both went 4-2. So either way, listen.
Of our picks, though. I don't know.
Yeah, I have it. It's right here.
Okay.
This
would have
was our
been our
graphics. This was our graphic from yesterday. So
I
the
tried to
Lions
set the
winning.
graphic with the Rams pick.
Do what now? Oh yeah.
They almost did it. They should have done it.
2-2.
Yeah. So yeah, you went 2-2. I went.
I refuse to pull for KC.
I cannot believe, bro. I cannot believe the Commanders won that. Wow.
Yeah, dude, that was
Anybody but the
huge.
Chiefs. Anybody but the Chiefs.
So Seth, you went 2-2. I went 2-2.
I went 2-2.
So everybody went 2-2.
I want to talk about that Lions Washington game for a minute though. Yeah,
well, we gonna get there. We gonna listen. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. Yeah.
We gonna get there. College football stuff.
Yeah, we gonna get there. Yeah, we gonna get there. So listen, let's run through the quickness. Let's run through Notre Dame, Penn State. You know, that game, Notre Dame was favored by 2. We all had our choices. Mac, you and Seth both picked Penn State. The rest of us picked Notre Dame. The biggest thing from that entire game that just threw everybody for a loop is not a single wide receiver had a catch or yards. Like, that was just mind-boggling. Running backs, tight ends, all had catches, all had yards. Not a single wide receiver.
Drew Aller sold, bro. He sold so bad.
I just that game, man. I don't know. I mean, Notre Dame ended up winning that game 27-24. Drew Allard sold with 33 seconds left. He threw that last pick, trying to
Yeah,
throw
near the end of that
crossbody,
time.
middle of the field, running right, through
Yeah.
left. It should have just thrown it away.
Did they need a field goal or a touchdown? I don't remember.
Needed a field
Didn't they
goal.
just
They needed a field
and
goal.
was that to tie it or win it?
Win it. They were
That was
tied.
to win it.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah,
Drew Allard
it was 24 all.
just sold.
Yeah, Mitch Jeter hit the walk off to win it. So it was.
Yeah,
We would have had
yeah.
overtime had he not thrown the pick.
Thanks, Drew. Ruining
Yeah,
my
should have
picks.
1000% just played for overtime. How about Jeremiah Love? You know, with the injury, just bully balling in for that one touchdown. Then Chaden Greathouse, brother, he took 2 sets of ankles, one play. Still want to show some love to Nick Singleton, my boy. Hey, that boy was a hard-nosed runner with the rock. They were doing their thing, and then Tyler Warren, obviously, hopefully, according to Mac, future Bronco. But either or, still a good, really, really, really good ball game. Yeah, Notre Dame would then await their opponent of the Ohio State Texas game. This game was it was very interesting.
It's closer than the score looks.
Yeah, it was a lot closer because it was 21-14 and Texas was like what on the 14-yard line.
At one point they were on the 2-yard line. Remember?
Yeah, and then they got hit. They got hit for a loss on a cracked toss sweep for like a 4 or 5 yard loss. Yeah, and then from there, Jack Sawyer just, buddy.
He's legit just Ohio State's Aiden Hutchinson.
That's a good shout.
They play so similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
The same energy. They both seem like big team leaders.
Yeah. He they lined up on that play and Jack Sawyer shifted to the left of the tackle. Just like another shift to the left. And when he did, it just I don't know, I guess it just threw the tackle off. And I mean, he beat him every single step. It's like the tackle just never could catch up. And as soon as he hit Quinn, it was over. Yeah. I mean, strip sack, scoop and score.
House call.
Will Howard is playing phenomenal football right now.
Yes, he is. I mean, in that game, he was 24 of 33, 289, a touchdown and a pick. I mean, Quinn didn't play terrible that game. He was 23, 39, 283, 2 touchdowns and a pick. I mean, they were right there neck and neck. It was just
Ohio State was fighting the refs for a majority of the game. That really caused them some issues, if you remember. The officiating was, I think they had 70 yards of penalties.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 75. And those came in some pretty critical moments. That kind of slowed them down. I'm curious to see if tonight that will play any effect because
listen,
they have to fight the refs.
Jaden Blue is disgusting. But had Ohio State covered a running back out of the field, I don't know had he scored those 2 touchdowns. So, but yeah, I mean, overall, Trayvon Henderson had 42 yards rushing. Wisner had 46 for Texas. I mean, neither team could really run the ball on each other, except for Quinshon Judkins had that one, or Travion Henderson had that 75-yard pass. I mean, it wasn't really a run play. I mean, it was a behind the line of scrimmage screen that he just took to the crib.
That was sick. It was a fun game.
Yeah, it was wild. But either way, I mean,
the later half of the playoffs, the games have been getting.
Oh yeah, they've been
slowly progressing. It's been like a slow, started off kind of weak, get a lot of team getting exposed, which honestly I kind of expected. If you want me to be honest, it didn't surprise me. But
I mean, and in the Natty tonight, Ohio State's favored by 9.5.
Wow.
I mean, really? Can you blame the? Yeah, I mean 9.5. Can you blame anybody the way they've been playing? I mean, at this point, everybody's saying it. You'd be dumb to pick against Ohio State the way they've been playing. But if you watch Notre Dame's games, they are a gritty team. They find ways to win. They make plays and make things happen. I mean, Christian Gray's interception, Jeremiah Love getting hit at the 5-yard line and somehow, some way stretching and pushing the pile and scoring a touchdown. I mean, they find ways to win. And they find ways
This
to
is
win.
I really think this is going to be a phenomenal natty.
I think
Like, I
so
think
too.
both
I
of
don't
these
think
teams can win.
there's a lot of people that are like, "Oh, Ohio State's probably going to beat them by 2 or 3 touchdowns." I don't think so. Not so fast, my
Do you
friend.
want to transition into some picks?
I'm
Um,
gonna pick my pick.
yeah, go ahead. Let me hear what y'all got. I'm gonna go ahead and write it down so that way we got it covered.
Seth, you want to start us off?
Sure, I got Ohio State winning, Notre Dame to cover. I think it's gonna be higher scoring. Right,
Hope so. Need some
I hope so
offense
too.
tonight.
I think a 35-30. Is that maths? Is that math?
35-30? Yeah, that works.
Yeah, somewhere in the 30s. Yeah.
I feel it was, 3 touchdowns, 3 field goals for Notre Dame, and then just 5 straight out touchdowns for O State.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
What we're rocking with. I don't hate it. I like it.
I don't hate it either.
I'm rocking with Seth. I think Notre Dame's lack of a pass game. Riley Leonard had 80 passing yards against the State.
Yeah.
I think their lack of a pass game is going to kill them. Then they play a lot of man-to-man defense. So Jeremiah Smith is just going to torch them. And when they go and put another dude on Jeremiah Smith, Igbuka is going to torch them. And when they put guys on each of them, or Vion Hendrickson, his name?
TreVeyon Henderson.
Henderson, there we go. He's going to run it up the middle. And when they stop him, we give it to forgetting everybody's name today, but they're just too much on offense.
I don't hate
Ohio
that.
State. Ohio State 42.
Oh wow, getting into the 40s.
Notre Dame 31. 42-31, and Ohio State covers.
I don't hate it. I feel like this game could really go any direction because I really like the defenses.
It's either going to be 42-31 or it's going to be like 10-9.
For me, how I picked it was kind of just based off the
10-9
quarterback.
is
I like Will Howard
crazy.
more.
Yeah.
I think Will Howard's the
These
difference. I believe in
playoffs.
Will Howard. I really don't want Ohio State to win though. I really want Notre Dame. I'm pulling for Notre Dame, but
I've hated both these teams like my whole life, so I think I'm going to be
yeah, I
pulling
hate
for
them both.
Ohio State. Even though I like
Oh,
Marcus
really?
Freeman. I like
Marcus Freeman. That's why
I like
I don't
Marcus
like Ryan
Freeman.
Day.
Don't like Ryan Day, but I like Will Howard. I like Jeremiah Smith.
That's fair. That's fair.
So I think I'm gonna pull for Ohio State tonight. It's
I'm
not like
pulling
I'm not
for
gonna be
Notre Dame.
I'm not gonna be upset tomorrow morning if Notre Dame won. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like Ohio State's the Clemson of the North. So I just don't like them.
What we got? Go ahead and say Notre Dame so I can beat you in picks this year.
Yeah, I feel like. Oh, please do it. That'd be so good. For the
make it interesting. That's why I wanted to pick first, so I could
So you could pick. Yeah.
So I could peer pressure you into picking Notre Dame.
I'm just
because now I have no choice. One of us has to pick Notre Dame because if I mean you got to because one of us has to lose.
Yeah, I mean, imagine we're going to reset going into next year.
Yeah.
No, the reset next year is going to be insane.
I think we have to, right? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We're resetting going into next year.
Like 5 to 10 games a week next year. It's just like
yeah. We'll probably cover a majority of the top 25 and then yeah, for sure. So put me in a tough spot, Mac.
I know I did. That was
because this is the thing. Even
if you pick OSU, I won't blame you.
Because and that's the thing is that I've
but
been.
You're a man, you'll pick Notre Dame.
See, that's an even tougher spot.
You want to be right, or do you want content?
Clickbait.
I will say, if Notre Dame wins, that flaming session's gonna be so good.
Oh, I know it is. Yeah.
I'm talking. Hey, I would talk some crazy junk if Notre Dame wins, and I pick them. Listen, but no, I mean, looking at their just their season stats overall, I mean, Will Howard's thrown 402 passes, completed right at 300 of them, and has got 3,800 yards. Riley Leonard has thrown 20 less passes and has 1,200 less yards.
I just trust Will Howard more. That's the only reason I picked. But these defenses are freaky. That grit that Notre Dame shows, they play with some.
It's either going to be 42, 30 some odd, or it's going to be 10-9. It depends on which side of the ball shows up tonight for each team.
That's why after watching a 27-24 and a 28-14, I don't think it gets into the 30s.
Would love it to. That's me being hopeful.
I mean, I agree. I mean, everybody likes the offensive game, but like,
unless Ohio State comes out like they did against Oregon and they're just unstoppable.
If that happens, Ohio State by 40. No, I'm just joking. They cover like 4 times.
That's the only thing about Notre Dame. They play with some grit.
Yeah, I know. Like that. That's why the pick's hard. Is because like they play gritty.
The eye
Do
test.
I feel like it's a speed against strength argument.
Agreed.
Yeah. You're fast, agile.
I like Notre Dame's defense more than I like Ohio State. If you want me to be completely honest.
You what?
I like Notre Dame's defense more than Ohio State's. If you want me to be honest.
I don't know. The fact you gave up 24 points to Drew Aller. I don't know.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a fair point. I'm just going. This is eye test.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There's a reason my picks are 14.
They
14.
gave up 20. They gave up 21 points to Nick Singleton. I mean, Buddy kind of ran all over them, if we're honest. I mean, legit.
Maybe I'm overhyping that Notre Dame team.
And that's
but when I watched them,
I mean, and I say ran all over them. They got really good field position most of the time too. I mean, between Nick Singleton and Katron Allen, they had 166 yards rushing, and Drew Aller threw for 135. Their offense, I mean, they barely broke 300 yards of total offense. I mean, combined. I mean, which saying it out loud sounds like a lot. But if you hold an Ohio State team to 300 yards of offense total, what's the score going to look like?
A lot to a little.
You think so?
Yeah.
How much did Ohio State have against
Texas? Give me
Texas.
A second.
No. Don't look. Take a guess.
Up.
Huh?
You got it up?
Yeah, I got it up. Take a guess.
375, 400.
Right at 400. And that was with the defensive touchdown, so they only scored 21 points.
I could see Notre Dame being able to control the clock better off than Ohio State this game.
See, I see
that so quick though,
and that's only because of Leonard and his legs.
That's the thing that I'm battling in my mind. Is Notre Dame actually going to be able to find a way to get a first down to sustain a drive against that defense?
Riley Leonard only throws for 80 yards.
Like if he has another game where he throws for 75 yards on,
Riley Leonard comes out and throws for 225 yards, we could have an insane game.
Oh yeah, I mean you probably looking at a 48 to 45 type ball game.
Yeah.
No defense at all. They just out here slinging the rock.
I hope Riley Leonard comes out and just throwing bombs. I hope that happens. That'd be so amazing.
They about to hit you with one of them joints right there. I mean,
if Riley Leonard comes out on that first drive and says, "All right, you gonna eat this?"
That's what I think Notre Dame needs to do. If they win the toss, the ball first and establish the passing game early to say, "Hey, we're here. We're competing for this natty. Y'all aren't going to just run over us."
All right, so obviously we know on the first two scripted drives or first scripted drive of each team, usually that can tell you how a game goes. We talked about it last night, Mac. When you watch a team come out with the scripted drive, most of the time, when the teams come out and both teams go down and score, it's going to be a pretty good game. That's just the truth. yesterday,
Denver Broncos.
huh?
Sure, the Denver Broncos.
I mean,
R.I.P. the dead homies.
R.I.P.
Alright,
to the dead
so
homies. That
Stephen
was on Sean
Kenton.
Payton, but that'll be for another episode. That was on Sean.
it'll be a whole
Um,
series.
yeah. So, but like just watching the NFL games and a few other games across the season, when these teams go down and score, if it's like a touchdown versus a field goal, the team that scores a field goal usually ends up having a problem scoring the rest of the game, even when adjustments are made.
Rams
That
and Eagles
first
yesterday.
drive is like a testament. Hey, my defense is here. Hey, my offense is here. You see what I'm saying? Like a lot of things can be told out of that first drive. Yes, you get the jitters and this, that, and the third. Natty, you're playing for it. You're in the biggest game of your season. Your whole entire season has come down to this game.
That's true. We'll see.
I'm telling you,
I want to
if this
see
game comes
what
out and both
offense.
of them score 7-7, I could see that 40-38 type, 42-38 type game. But
Yeah.
if both defenses come out strong, Mag, I might be with you on that like 10-7, 17-14 type game.
12-6.
But I don't think do what?
12-6.
Bro, if it's
Only
like
field goal. I
it's
would
no, it's gonna
cry.
be 12-9,
Would be in
and
bed after halftime.
one team's gonna get a safety and make it like they're gonna make it like 12-11.
Gosh. Be
That'd be
evil.
awful.
That
Dude,
will be hilarious.
ugh.
But yeah,
I mean,
for
realistically, if it's one of those defensive type games where it is 11-12, God forbid, it's just going to become which QB makes the mistake first.
yeah, it'll be
Cost it.
turnover driven for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
So we'll see.
So did you ever give your pick, Austin?
no, we were just sitting here ranting and talking about football. No, for contents and giggles, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Notre Dame. Um, mm,
Calling it now. I'm fully confident in Ohio State at this
Mitch
point in time,
Jeter.
but I know just because I chose Ohio State first, they're losing tonight. Like I can already feel it.
I'm gonna go Notre Dame.
Mitch Jeter walk off.
Yeah, Mitch Jeter, same score as their Penn State game, 27-24.
But he's gonna
Exact same.
Will
shank it
Howard
and we'll
throws
get
a pick.
overtime.
Will Howard throws a pick. Christian Gray takes it back, gets hit. Mitch Jeter walks it off with like 3 seconds left.
We're just reusing the script from last game. Even
Well, I
not even
mean,
taking time to make a new script.
do you want me to make a new script? I can make a new script.
I think you got to make
Alright.
a new script.
Feeling
I ain't
You
gonna
want me
tell
to
you
make a new one?
big.
Would love some overtime.
Ooh,
Overtime in the Natty would be sick.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's
has that ever
35-30.
happened?
Yes. Bama, Georgia.
Yeah.
2 would
You're right.
walk off. I would love the 35-35
You're right about that.
fourth quarter or overtime. So that's where that'd be perfect. Like 35-35.
24-24 will be what the overtime score is, or 21-21, one of those two, because of defensive purposes. It'll be 21-21, 24-24. Neither of them is going to score in the first overtime. It'll get batted
That is
down.
a field goal.
Yeah, they'll
That's like
score.
a walk-off. I'm about to say that's like a walk-off, like 31-yard field goal.
Yeah, true. So both of them will hit the. I forgot that they have a chance to kick the field goal. New
I
script
love
alert.
college football.
They
It's so
both go.
sad.
They both gonna hit the field goal. Okay. Which one is it where they both have to do the 2-point version? That's third.
15 overtimes. That's the third overtime.
Ew. All right, so we're gonna get there. So both of them, let's just say they're both at 21 apiece. They both score a touchdown. It's 28 apiece. Then they both kick field goals. It's 31 apiece.
They're doing math over there.
Ohio State gets the 2-point conversion. Notre Dame gets a 2-point conversion. Notre
So we're
Dame
going
gets a
to OT
2-point
four?
conversion. Notre Dame gets the OT4 2-point conversion, and
Jeremiah
uh,
Smith drops it in the end zone.
Jeremiah Smith drops it in the end zone with good
Mark,
defense from Christian Gray.
was a
We
Mark
might be-
Ingram or Mark
We might be
Andrews.
millionaires if we just called that. Got
Low-key.
Been
Imagine.
posting that on everything about
have
10
leaked the
times.
script. The script has been leaked from the 2001 show. In the middle of
We might have
nowhere,
to hit a collab with Cook the Books if we get that script right.
That's good.
Go.
I love
know-
it. An outlandish take for the Natty. I think you have to do it, right? Someone.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody's got to. Yeah, I'm gonna take Notre Dame in 4
Good
OTs.
college football season. So let's end it off the right way.
I'm
4
listening.
overtimes. They're gonna win 35-33 in 4 OTs. There we go. That's
Jacob
my
said OSU 14 plus.
yeah. I got that wrote
OSU
down
has
too.
I was making sure I announced it. I don't think we said it earlier. Jacob's just calling it absolute blowout.
Yeah, he's going with the flow. Yeah.
All right. So a little bit of NFL talk before we close it out.
Yeah, I mean,
Off with
listen,
some
we got
champions game picks.
bro, listen. Can't
Save us,
man.
Josh Allen. Please save us, Josh Allen.
I
Cannot-
bro.
Josh
cannot-
Allen,
Yeah,
if
can
you
we
can
talk
hear
about
us.
this real quick?
Josh Allen, if you can hear us.
Please. Please.
I cannot watch the Chiefs three-peat. I might have to retire from watching ball.
No, low
I
key.
hate. I only think I hate the Chiefs because of the Swift drama. So that was just annoying.
There are division rivals.
Oh
That's
yeah, you're
why.
Broncos.
So I've got a
So
little extra
that
hated
explains.
hatred.
Okay.
They beat us like.
I'm just tired of seeing them. I just don't want to see their face.
Tired of Mahomes flopping. Oh my god! At least Tom Brady was respectable when he played. Holy crap!
Bro, that one on the
Yeah, Tom Brady
sideline,
was
I
good.
almost lost it. I'm not even gonna lie. That one on the sideline,
Don't get me started, bro, because it just
makes your skin crawl, don't it?
It's so annoying.
I mean, the Chiefs Texans game, there were some questionable calls,
my
bro. Like it
God.
was so
Chiefs had
bad.
13 points off of calls that could have that extended their drive.
And one of them led to a touchdown on the very next play.
They won by 9 points, and they scored like 13 points because the refs helped them out.
Texans would have won 14-13. No penalties.
I'm just tired of the Chiefs.
I agree.
It's just not exciting, you know. Like I just don't want to see their
thing
face.
every time I watch a Chiefs game. Other team has a chance to win, and then here comes the laundry, and that's it. It's every single time.
Every time I've watched them this season, it's been something. It's either been refs or it's been
calls on the other team. There's been so many
block a
defensive pass
kick,
interference.
or you get a random fumble.
Let's not talk about the block kick, brother.
Yeah, hitting. Oh, is that on the Broncos? I forgot about that.
There you go.
I mean, I knew it happened. I'm sorry.
Flag on the play.
I might buy a legitimate flag, so when someone does something stupid.
Nah, for real.
I've been wanting one for a while.
Yeah, bro.
Unnecessary roughness on the Broncos flag.
They looked at Mahomes too hard.
Lenore Sellers.
Unnecessary roughness on the entire defense. They touched Mahomes. 60-yard penalty
Patrick Mahomes
on the 1 yard line.
They got to do something about how soft offenses are.
I hate that jump, bro.
You can see the difference between college football and NFL. Football doesn't change between the two. Like, yes, a lot of the players are going to be smarter. They know how to tackle. You know what I mean? Better than college football players. We're
baiting fouls here, and we're 20-some-odd years old, getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars to play a game, and we're baiting flags.
Well, I mean, that's the whole reason. That's the whole reason NFL looks so soft now. Because you got overpaid QBs making way more money than they should be, and these owners are just protecting their money. That's all it is. There's too much money in the league surfing around, and these owners want to protect their players. Which, given I understand protecting players, like I want to see clean football.
There's a
If you are running
there's a
with
line.
there's a line. If you are running with the football, you deserve the same level of contact a running back deserves.
For sure.
I'm not saying more than that. I'm not saying go kill someone because I understand it used to be pretty rough back in the day. I get it. I used to watch Steelers football constantly, but at the same time, if you are a runner of the football, whatever level of aggression is allowed upon a running back
The
should
same for
be
anybody
allowed
who
on
has the
every
ball.
other position, including the QB. If you're a QB and you run, because that's why mobile QBs are the new thing in the NFL. Mobile
They
QBs
can
are
get extra
taking over.
yards. Yeah, they just get they can get an extra yards on the ground when you need a
It, yeah,
when you need a
it
first
killed
down,
the
and
Lions
they
in their game.
bait a flag, and you get another 15 yards. You just got a
Yep.
third of the way down the field from one play.
Yep.
Jared Goff looked like a statue
I
within
don't.
that
Jared
game,
Goff
and
is
it's
garbage, bro. I've said for years he's the reason the Lions will never make it or win a Super Bowl. It'll be because of Jared Goff. I mean, he did the same thing with the Rams.
My fault, Jared Goff. My fault.
I don't. I'm not
not gonna
apologizing
play.
for that one. Get
Yeah. My
better.
fault,
Be
Jared.
better.
My fault.
He had 5 interceptions in one game. You don't apologize to this man.
Oh, my fault, Jared. Flag on
Nonetheless,
play.
it's mobile QBs are the new thing, and it's because of how soft the league has gotten. And I don't think this is even a crazy or controversial take anymore. I feel like this is
It's
going to be
just
something I say
facts.
again next year, and it's a yearly tradition. Hating the refs and saying the NFL's soft. This is what it is.
Do we want to get into
Hopefully, it
some
changes. I doubt it
F,
will.
AFC NFC championship picks instead of ranting? Because I could rant on this all day long.
Oh, trust me.
Yeah, this
Hey,
is.
listen, this boy right here, he will
Mhm.
rant. He will rant about this here. Listen, he passionate about this here. I promise. He is passionate about it. Yes, sir.
Jack's our NFL guy.
College is still my favorite, but Broncos have been my team. They're the reason why I love football as much as I do. It's because of the Broncos. So
Mm,
passionate about it.
Panthers fans, so we're just in slavery at this point, just wander in the wilderness for
Still
40
upset about
years.
2015.
Yeah,
If only
that's
Cam
all.
would have
Yeah,
jumped on the ball.
Yeah,
yeah.
so if we want to get into it,
Anyways,
looking at the championship games, we've got the Commanders versus the Eagles, the 6 seed versus the 2 seed. Shout out the Commanders, man.
yeah,
Shout out
Javon
Jade.
is rough.
Rookie of
That
the year
is,
runner up, Jaden Daniels.
I'm gonna keep it
Kidding.
a buck
Kidding.
50. If
Kidding.
the Commanders pull off the miracle that is a Super Bowl, give Daniels the MVP. But he doesn't deserve it unless he
Already
wins it all.
voted. Already voted, by the way. But yes,
Did they already vote? Oh,
they
wow.
voted. Yeah, they vote. But it's
That's
only regular
why would
season.
you? Oh, that
I
sucks.
know. It's stupid. Uh, I
Uh,
don't know. Jaden Daniels has
Daniels,
overperformed this year.
he's
Um,
a, and
what I
the
would
crazy thing is, I thought CJ overperformed last year. This is like, dang, give me that junk like cocaine, cause that junk's sick.
the
People
stat.
are
What
right
was
now arguing he's better. He's the best QB in the playoffs currently. He's playing the best
Oh
level
my
of
God, who
football.
is saying that?
There's some dude on one of these.
Get him off the. Get him off.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with
Get him
this.
off. Oh my gosh. He's
Not the
good.
best QB,
Holy.
but he's playing the best level of football.
Oh, okay.
I was like, maybe
Josh
there's an
Allen.
argument to be made there.
There's
Josh
not.
Allen's a
Josh
freak.
Allen.
Yeah, I was about to say that's why I am not going to agree
I've
because
said
I
for the
think Josh
past
Allen
like
is the
3 or
best.
4 years, Josh Allen's problems was turnovers. If he could limit his turnovers, he'd be the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah,
Limited his turnovers. He had what 4 interceptions this year. That's insane.
yeah, no, I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. But I will say,
Best
I
quarterback
think
in the NFL right
right
now.
behind Allen, when it comes to the last 4 teams remaining, I think we're the last 4 QBs remaining. Right behind Allen, I will put Daniels because he's
We're
playing
talking this year alone,
insane.
right now. Got Josh Allen at the 1, Aiden Daniels at the 2,
Agreed.
Jalen Hurts at the
Agreed.
3, and Patrick Mahomes at the
Oh,
4.
you're
I'm
putting
hold
Mahomes at
up.
the 4?
I'm saying this year alone. You look at the whole work that everybody's done. This isn't me hating on Mahomes. This is his worst season of his career.
Okay, that's
He's
fair.
still 15-2. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback by any means. I'm just saying right now,
It
you put
is
him
his.
on any you put
It's
him
the
on any of
defense
these
is
3 other
wearing.
teams, and I don't know. Like, he's a different quarterback in the playoffs, though. Like, if you wanna talk about who's
Agreed.
the best quarterback in the playoffs right now, he has the clutch factor. The refs, if the refs wouldn't get in the way, I would respect him so much more. But the fact that it's the foul baiting and the stuff like that, that's what bothers me.
We
Good
weren't
Right,
quarterback.
treating
right.
Tom Brady this way. Like, given Tom Brady had the ball, the deflatable ball thing,
Deflategate,
and
yeah.
The
Deflate Gate
deflate
was.
gate.
Just going
I don't
back to,
know.
like,
I
when the
wasn't
Bills
around
beat
enough
him
to
in the
know.
regular season, the
Was a
whining
young.
about the offensive offsides call last year, like, oh my gosh, bro,
Oh
you're
yeah, when he
dragging
talked to Josh Allen about
you're
that post
dragging
game
it,
was
bro.
insane.
And every time Josh Allen has lost to you, shook your hand and said good game and walked away. No matter, even in the overtime playoffs with the rules where they didn't even get the ball, he never said anything about the rules for that. I mean, come on, let's just play the game the right way.
Who are y'all pulling for? Just in
Oh
general.
my gosh, the Bills. I'm pulling for the Bills.
Okay, I'm
Commanders
riding with
Bills.
you with that. I'm
Oh,
riding with the
I
Bills.
want Commanders Bills.
Won't command.
Yep.
See, but I don't hate Jaden Daniels, but people are just gonna make Bo Nix even worse, which is saying he's even worse. This is what Jaden Daniels is doing with Commanders is what I hope Bo would do with us, but we need weapons before that happens. So I don't know. I'm feeling. I want Buffalo out of the AFC, no questions about it. I'm not a big Eagles hater. A lot of people are. I'm not. I don't like their fans, but I like the team.
Their fans
Uh,
talk a lot of trash.
Yes, yes, they
I'm
do.
I'm I'm feeling
Yeah, I was
Eagles
about to say,
Bills.
Boy down there know.
Super Bowl. Saying an Eagles Bills Super Bowl and the city of New Orleans like might
This is. Oh man.
explode.
This
Those
is
are
Bills
clashing
Austin's
of
Eagles.
fan
worst
bases.
nightmare, dude. No matter what, you get one of your rivals in the Super Bowl. You can't even help it.
I
You
hate
get
it.
Haven't
no,
had to
you down
watch
bad down
your
there.
biggest rival win 2 Super
Well,
Bowls in a
listen, I
row.
had to tell Mac the other day, listen, I'm a third. I've given a third of myself away to 3 different teams this year. Shout out Mac. So I've given a
You're
third
gonna
of
vomit
myself
if
to
Washington wins it before the Cowboys.
well,
You're gonna vomit.
I've given myself a third away to 3 different teams this year. And I mean, it's all Mac's fault and Jonathan's fault, but mainly Mac's fault. So I've given myself to the Broncos to help Mac a little bit, like just, shout out Broncos. And then I've
Sponsor
slowly
us,
gotten,
Broncos. If you're watching, sponsor us. Fly me out for a game.
yeah, low key. Um, we'll be there or be square.
Done.
And um, and then I've watched some Panthers games to, get acquainted with the local team since we're from the Carolinas. And growing up supporting the team that my father got us
Cursed
into,
you. He
You
cursed you with
see,
this.
being a Cowboys fan is, it's not for the faint
Curse.
of heart, that's for sure. I don't care what anybody says. It's not for the faint of heart. We
What your
listen,
best, the best quarterback of your lifetime is Tony Romo?
right.
at this point, I could care less. Who our
No, I'm
greatest
just
quarterback
asking.
is.
You see,
I'm just asking. Yeah.
I
I
mean,
know how you feel because my dad was a Pittsburgh fan, kinda, but everyone is also a Panthers fan. So I had to like make a recent decision. I had to make a business decision because I cannot put my loyalty in two different
Two
places.
teams? Nah.
And you can't do it. Like I don't get passionate about the NFL because my loyalty is in two different places. So I have indoctrinated myself while they still suck. I'll probably stuck for a while. I am a Panthers fan. So
Will
when
not be
they
sucking
come
for a
up,
while. I'm gonna come
I don't
up. I
know. Bryce
promise.
Young did look good though. Bryce
They're on
hey,
the come up.
did look
Bryce
good.
Young,
I think
he
they
threw
finally
what
moved him.
10 touchdowns, no interceptions in that last stretch.
They can get. I would love for the Panthers to get like an Abdul Carter in the draft.
Same. That's what I'm pulling for. I've committed myself to the Panthers. I'm throwing away the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't really care what they do anymore. But I'm a
What?
Panthers man. Keep pounding. Yeah.
Keep pounding. I hear you, Bill. I mean, yeah. I don't know.
Ooh, just got a notification. Classes are canceled after 12 o'clock tomorrow at USC to inclement weather.
Oh, congratulations, kid.
Thank you. Hey,
Big
everybody
I
day.
stay
gotta
safe
fly
out there
tomorrow.
tomorrow. Everybody in the
Go get bread.
southeast, stay safe.
Go get bread.
Wait, so Mac, you
All right,
got
we gotta run through our picks though soon.
yeah, so you got what? You got Bills Eagles?
Yeah, Bills Eagles. Oh,
Right.
Jacob said he's calling it now. Panthers signed T. Higgins in free agency. I'm
Oh.
excited to see what
I
T.
don't-
Higgins where he goes. 'Cause
Do
I
you
would love
think
for him to go
he's been
Denver.
under Chase's thumb for a long time now
He's gone.
as a wide
He's gone.
receiver too? I agree he's gone, but do you think he'll be able to be that wide receiver one guy?
Anywhere else, almost anywhere else. He's a
I don't
top
think
10
I don't.
receiver.
Yeah, top 10. Oh, maybe top 10.
What's your picks for this upcoming weekend, Seth? What you got?
I'm riding with him. Bills Eagles. I refuse to pick the Chiefs, and
I refuse to pick the Chiefs.
I think Saquon Barkley is the reason the Eagles.
I
are
mean,
gonna
I
win.
don't disagree. I just Grace's father was a Commanders / Redskins fan.
Okay.
For like the longest time, and watching them make it this far, although, Cowboys aside, I just for him, I would want to see them go and make it to the Super Bowl. I talked to some of her family the other night. I was like, I know for a fact my boy would be lit if he were here.
He'd make
Like,
See,
I know.
honestly, I might change my pick because I feel like I'm picking with my heart.
That's how you got to pick, my boy.
That's why I'm 14-14 in college football picks.
Oh,
I'll pick with my heart on the
shout
best
out
one
the
week.
picks.
Give me KC Eagles because I feel like the NFL, it's too much money, bro.
Ew.
I don't want it.
Nah, ain't nobody told you to go and do all that
I
now.
didn't want it.
Yo,
I don't
no,
want
that's
it.
too far.
That's way too far, my brother. Way
National
too
Tell me
far.
the refs in the NFL ain't helping the Mahomes, Taylor Swift,
Oh, the Jaden
love
Daniels.
train.
If it's not Bills Eagles, it's Chiefs Commanders. That's where the money's at right now. Washington's got a huge fan base. It's just been lying dormant for like 20 years, like a cicada, bro. They got a huge fan. They got a huge fan base.
That's gonna be my pick. I'm making it official.
Ewy.
Chiefs Eagles. I don't
Ugh.
like it. I'm not a fan of it. Well, I'm picking with my brain. I think the Chiefs do have a legitimate defense. Their offense is spec,
They
but I
have
think they
all
got the
four
NFL on their
phases.
side.
Chiefs are good at all four phases of the ball: offense, defense, special teams, and referees. They always have all four phases.
Dog, we've done this before. We've played this game. What are we talking about? Don't shame me. Do
I'm
I feel
not.
gross? Do I feel
No.
disgusting? I don't want to
I know
pick
you do.
them. I
You
feel.
feel disgusting.
You know, the last time I did this, I picked Clemson against SMU. Who was right?
Oh, God.
I was right. When I don't pick with my heart, I'm right. God, I hate it. This is gross. I do it to myself. I really do. Oh well.
Jaden Daniels will be the first rookie
Chiefs
quarterback to
Eagles.
play in the Super Bowl.
Just because I
Fact
think
check.
they're gonna win doesn't mean I'm pulling for them though. Okay.
Yeah, I don't like that pick out of you there, brother.
Yeah, that's evil.
I
No
don't like
rookie
the pick.
quarterback has
I
never
don't
led
like
their
that
team.
pick out of you there, brother.
No
I
rookie
don't like
quarterback
it.
has ever led their team to a Super Bowl. So much less win one. No rookie's never even played in one.
That's insane.
Yeah, that would be wild. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm with Jacob in the chat. I want Bills Commanders, but in reality, it's more than likely gonna be Chiefs Eagles, just because the NFL and their love of the
I think it'll
bread.
be. I'm telling you. I
Oh,
think
you riding with me?
No,
the
I'm not
Chiefs make
riding
it.
with you. I'm still picking Bills Commanders. You
The Chiefs
sellout.
make it. I think if the Chiefs make it, they're playing the Commanders. That's where the
Look,
money's at. We've already seen it. Eagles Chiefs. I'm telling you,
I'm not.
money is Chiefs Commanders. That's my unofficial pick. My official
I.
pick is Bills Eagles.
You see,
Hmm.
my unofficial would be Bills, Eagles. That's my unofficial. But officially, what I actually think is going to happen, yeah, Chiefs,
Yeah.
Eagles.
Yeah,
That's
we hear you.
disgusting.
That's
I don't
that's
want.
that's very disgusting. Yeah, we know the NFL's agenda, Jake. That stupid three-peat. I hope they don't get it. Anyways, yeah, I think that's pretty much it on the agenda.
Last
Thursday
time I
night though,
picked like this, I was right. Just
Thursday night
not too mad at it.
the girls
Right.
have LSU at home.
Couldn't even
Didn't they
get
get
tickets.
like college game
Couldn't
day or
even get a
something?
ticket. Yeah, it gets sold out so quick for not sold out, but we're gone so quick for students.
Yeah. We
Gone like a week and a half ago.
yeah, so the girls have LSU at home Thursday at 7 o'clock, and the boys have number 5 Florida Wednesday.
Question:
will
Is this
be
the
there.
first time there's been a college game day for basketball / women's basketball?
I think they're starting that this year potentially, and people are like shouting, "Yo, please do it for baseball! Yo, baseball is not far
Please,
away,
please.
not far
No, it
away,
is.
baby." Listen,
So that's the
we
worst part. I'm
this
about to get rid of my
episode.
YouTube TV, and I don't
Winning the
want to because
natty.
college baseball
Winning
is
the natty.
around.
Hey,
Be that
I'll,
natty.
I'll wear my baseball jersey the next show we do.
Oh, I got mine ready. Mine's right here beside me.
I hate
let's go,
us.
baby.
We have an addiction.
Can't
We getting
possibly
Ethan
there.
hide it
Petrie.
from me.
Hey, Ethan Petrie, home run. I can already see it.
He's gonna
Come on, bro.
hold 30-30
Hey,
season.
we're gonna have to do live reactions on those like Saturday games where we all sitting around being
See, I'm
aggressively
gonna be
lazy.
at the game. If it's on a Saturday, I'm gonna be there.
Oh
Oh,
me.
fair enough.
Yeah, we're gonna
Love
be
me
locked
some
in.
Gamecock baseball. So
Yeah,
underrated.
I wonder if
I
I could
mean,
convince my old lady to move to Columbia.
I
Should.
think when I made this outline, I said Gamecock baseball starts in 28 days. I think we're down to 26 now. So
Sacred
you
Heart, February 13th is opening day.
yeah. So Sacred Heart. So not far away, fellas. Listen, we got. I mean, obviously this episode, and we're gonna probably run one more to finish covering the Natty and the Super Bowl.
Heck
Well,
yeah.
championship, AFC NFC championship weekend, and then maybe
24
one
days
more after
away.
that for the Super Bowl.
20
So how many?
24 days away from Gamecock baseball.
Let's get it, baby. 24. Now we locked.
That's
So either way, I mean, obviously we'll have at least one or two good episodes worth of football, some football content left, but we are going to be deep diving into the rest of the basketball season and headed straight
yeah.
into baseball season. We are definitely covering Gamecock baseball. Shout out to Braves fans. We covering Braves baseball too.
Anytime there's football news, it'll be a part of our segments. All right.
For sure, yeah. We definitely gonna
And
keep football in on this.
Next game is Valentine's Day. My bad. So
and
25 days.
Ew.
Jesus, we don't know the day. Either way, I mean, realistically, we're gonna do a lot of football content still throughout the year.
Oh, for
Probably
sure.
doing deep dives on players, things like that. Because there's some of these
Get
guys I
some
want to talk about.
get some record
Some of these guys.
predictions, some
Oh
SEC
yeah.
standing predictions. We're gonna have it all
Oh
coming
dude,
during the off
there's
season.
there's so much football content to go over.
Oh yeah, I mean we're gonna do some predictions. We're gonna go through our schedule and what we think, SEC schedules and what we think, go through their pickups, probably go through the NFL schedule. I mean, we'll do a lot of football things throughout the off
Sure.
season. But we're gonna try to, lock in what
Shift the
schedules
focus
and
a little
stuff
bit.
kind
Get
of.
some baseball going, basketball going.
Yeah, for sure, for
The
sure.
layout of the shows will be pretty similar. Start the show off with any Gamecock news in
Mm-hmm.
general. Lay into a
Yeah.
little bit of football, maybe do player predictions or thoughts on certain players or spring portal,
So
so on and so forth. And then that second
for
half will
sure.
be your Braves baseball or your pro league stuff.
Gamecock
And
baseball.
Oh yeah,
then talk baseball. Anything Gamecock comes first. That's priority. But
for sure. Right on.
you
For
see what I'm
sure, for
saying.
sure. Listen, everybody and anybody that tuned in to the show. We appreciate you. Listen, we will more than likely be live again here shortly for a live reaction to the national championship, Notre Dame versus Ohio State. If the boys is in, we may or may not be in. We've talked about it. Possibility we may be live doing a live reaction. Either way, appreciate your support. listen, give us a like, follow, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that way you know every time we go live. Follow us on Facebook. Give us likes and retweets on Twitter. Go follow the Instagram page. Yeah, all of that helps us out, and we greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. Fellas, any final thoughts?
Good episode 6, ready for episode 7. Should be
No,
out in a week.
appreciate it. Hey,
Good
go
little
Cox.
outro
Cox.
Yak got there.
Hey, love piece of hair grease, baby. Just lock it in.